Good morning, Year 2. Welcome to English. Today we are doing Lesson 7 of expressing our preference for a character. Today's learning intention is to examine the alternative representation of a character within stories. Our story is Cinder's Rocks, a Rockstar Gang. The success criteria is to create a retell for Cinder's Rocks, a Rockstar Gang. The things you will need is your pencil, rubber, a piece of paper to create your retell, and some blue tack for your learning wall. In this lesson, we're going to start exploring an alternative or a different version of a traditional fairy tale Cinderella. Our fairy tale is Cinder's Rocks, a Rockstar Gang, which gives Cinderella a bit of a twist. Traditional stories usually have make-believe events and magical experiences, princes, princesses, kings, queens, fairies most of the time. So, like I said, this version gives Cinderella a little bit of a twist, and we're going to explore that. Before we do, I'm going to ask you to view your copy of Cinder's Rocks, a Rockstar Gang. Have a look at the title and make a prediction about what the story is going to be about. Share with your learning buddy using information from the title and what you already know about the story. Go ahead and do that now. So, once we've made our prediction, I'm going to ask you and your learning buddy to read through or reread Cinder's Rocks, or you can watch Miss Edwards and her reading of Cinder's Rocks on the OneNote. Go ahead and do that now, and then I'll ask you some questions which will guide your thinking around your retell. Feel free to pause the video if you need. So, now that we've done our reading, were your predictions about Cinder's Rocks correct? For example, yes or no. Maybe give a reason to your learning buddy. Second question, what are the main events in the story? I'm thinking back to the story, and I can remember there was a rockstar princess who has two divine stepsisters who have a very hard life, a fairy godfather instead of a fairy godmother. Cinder's Rocks, she thinks she's going to win the prince's heart at the gig, but the stepsisters are the ones that go and dance with the prince and the duke and lose their boots. The prince and the duke come back, and the boots match the stepsisters instead of Cinder's. Cinder's can't stand this. The stepsisters get married, and Cinder's goes away because she can't stand that. Question 3. Who are the characters in the story? Cinder's, the stepsisters, the fairy godfather, and the prince and the duke. So, now to create our retell. With our retell, we're going to write the title across the top, Cinder's Rocks, and we've got the beginning, the middle, and the end. I'm just going to do this visually, so I'm going to draw a little picture for each to guide my thinking about what's happening through the story. So at the beginning of the story, Cinder's, she's a rock star, so I'm going to draw her a drum kit. So I'm going to draw her a little drum kit because she's a legendary rock star in fairy tale land. So here's my drum kit. This is my bass drum and my tom-toms, and her drumsticks up in the air here, and my cymbal down the side. It's my drum kit today. In the middle of our story, I know Cinder's, she turns into, she's very sour. So I'm going to draw myself a sour lemon here, just to guide my thinking around Cinder's and how she acts to her stepsisters. And she wants to try to win the prince's heart. So I'm going to draw a nice big ring here, which she's using to try, because she wants to win the prince's heart. And at the end of the story, it's the stepsisters who win the heart of the prince and the duke. So I'm going to draw a layered wedding cake, and then on top I'm going to draw just some stick figures of my stepsisters. So this is my quick visual retell. If you would like to, you can add some more detail to yours. Perhaps you'd like to choose some colours. I might colour in my lemon here a bit of yellow, so I've got a nice sour lemon. And then we're going to add it to our learning wall. So our retell goes just underneath our character profile on this side of our learning wall. Alright, thank you for joining us today, boys and girls. We'll see you again tomorrow.